Welcome to Paprika News 164. Today we're going to be reacting to Paprika News episode 25. But the first thing I want to say is watch all the way to the end, because you might miss a few moments that are important to what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. So now let's begin watching.
This episode 25. Today we'll be talking about the Royal Rumble 2022. So let's start with this is basically going to say what I think of the matches and who I want to win. First of all, let's start off with the worst one. That I think this match is Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. Who came up with this? They must have been thinking
This match was better than I thought it was, but it was still pretty bad from what I remember. It wasn't like jaw-dropping, but it wasn't as terrible as I played out here. This is before I had the series Wrestling Talk, so I did my wrestling predictions on Backbreaking News. So you might see that for the first 70 or so episodes.
that what would make people stop watching WWE. Let's put Doudrop versus Becky Lynch when we could have had like any other stipulation matches with Liv Morgan or even Bianca Belair, which would have been better. I would rather watch paint dry or grass dry than watch this match.
I was a brutal kid.
I would rather eat only onions, and I hate onions for the rest of my life, than watch that match. But I'm going to watch it, and who I want to win is Becky Lynch. Next match is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. In my opinion, this is going to be a very good match, back and forth. But I don't see AJ Styles. I don't see Seth Rollins losing, but I don't see Roman Reigns losing, I don't think. But if we basically watch every match these two had every year, this would most likely, between them, would most likely favor Seth Rollins over Roman Reigns. But you have to think Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins now is a pretty good match. Overall, I'm happy they decided to do that, but I wish they would save that for WrestleMania instead of giving us Brock Lesnar maybe versus Roman Reigns. And personally, I would pay to see Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns over Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, because one, it's what the WWE fans have never seen before, and overall, I think Seth Rollins would be winning.
The funny thing is about that statement, this is before I knew the main event of WrestleMania. So I was right about two things. It would be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins would win this match, but by disqualification and not win the title. So looking back at that, this is one thing I got right. And so was the Becky Lynch match.
Next match is that's been confirmed is Edge versus Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maryse. Now this has a potential to be the match of the night, so hopefully they don't mess this up. I would be happy with Edge winning, but let me tell you why. Miz is not going to win, mainly because
he's the Miz.
I don't think WWE has anything really for him to do besides he hasn't did anything but lose. So really, this goes in the favor of Beth Phoenix and Edge, so they're gonna win.
So far I got everything right.
Next match, we're going to Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. It's going to be for the WWE Championship. champion Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. A dream match, in my opinion. I think they should save that one to WrestleMania, in my opinion, too. But I do think that the winner of this one is going to be Bobby Lashley. One, because Brock Lesnar doesn't really need to be champion if he's going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And if he...
I think this is true. I'll be right back and see if I was correct. The short answer was yes, I did get that right.
Is champion, that's going to ruin everything. Because if someone wins a Royal Rumble, they would automatically be asserted into that match. And having one of them win it would not be as surprised because they'll be expecting that. Or at least half of the wrestling fans would be expecting that, including myself. So how to make this better is like giving the opportunity, instead of having Brock Lesnar win the Royal Rumble at all, I would say make it a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and I don't know why, but this seems like a pretty good match if they added someone new. So I'm going to say, just for fun, I'm going to say probably either The Miz would be a good choice. Just kick The Miz or Big E or Cesaro. I would want to see either one of those guys in that match, so it would just be extra man. So, or you could have all of those men wrestle together, and then the Royal Rumble winner face Bobby Lashley. But I do think Bobby Lashley will win this and main event on the first night of WrestleMania. But now I'm going to say who I think Bobby Lashley's opponent would be and who would win the Royal Rumble if he wins. I would say, in my personal opinion, with all the people in there so far, because I'm not going to make a prediction of who's going to win, who isn't in there. I'm going to say just because it's going to be interesting. It's between Omos.
Yeah, I was way off here.
It's definitely not going to be AJ Styles. It's between Omos or Johnny Knoxville, just because. Or the other possibility that could go down this route is maybe, I'm not sure if there are going to be any surprise entrances, but if there is, maybe one of them will win.
I mean, I said 3 or 4 people, but I technically got that right. Because Brock Lesnar was like a surprise entrance. It was an expected entrance, but it was still a surprise. But why would I say Omos and Johnny Knoxville winning the Royal Rumble? Oh, probably because Vince was still running it in this part of 2022, so anything was possible. Yeah. That's why.
And now the Women's Royal Rumble. With all the people in there, I think Lita's going to win. Mostly because I would like to see her versus Charlotte or Lita versus Becky Lynch, because that has potential to be a main event at itself. But anyway, here's how I would book the Royal Rumble myself. Of course, you know who I picked to win, but the thing is, how I would do it is, instead of, I would make one change during the show. I think I would make a stipulation match. The first thing I would do is make a stipulation where if Roman Reigns or the Usos hit the referee, they automatically lose the match. And this will be kind of crazy because this will be a no disqualification match. But the rule is Roman Reigns cannot hit the referee.
Or the title will change hands. That's what I said. Back in the day, that seems like something WWE would do just to make it more interesting in the match. But no, they always went the same route. Bloodline interference. That's the reason why Roman Reigns matches were starting to get boring, because we know the same formula. Roman Reigns starts to get beat up, the Usos, Solo, or whoever that opponent's enemy is that day decides to interfere in the match. It started to get boring.
Or do anything, or get the Usos involved. If the Usos get involved, or they hit the referee, or Roman Reigns attacks the referee, or just pulls them out of the ring, Roman Reigns will lose his title. And that's how I think Seth Rollins will win it if I was booking it. Edge versus Beth Phoenix, I would be like,
Edge.
No, just Edge, just Beth Phoenix and Maurice will face each other off, and we'll save the mixed match. And Beth Phoenix will win, but I will save that match with both of them till WrestleMania. Then, how I would book the Royal Rumble is the winner will be in there with, I'm going to say, if Omos wins, him, AJ Styles, and just because I think he's going to be in there, I'm just going to say maybe Tyson Kidd was in there. He just returned. Let's just say that happens. They all get eliminated. The Women's Royal Rumble is basically going to be the same thing. Lita's going to eliminate the Final Four. It's just going to be Mickie James, Kelly Kelly, and why not Bianca Belair.
Ronda Rousey ended up winning this, but I think my booking of it was 10 times better than what WWE had came with.
And then the Women's Championship match, I would have Becky Lynch win by disqualification, just so that match will be over quick. I'm gonna make the match end quicker than anything because I do not like it. I will have that match end.
That was a little bit of bias from me, but still, I didn't like it, so thus I'm not going to book it. I miss when I used to say how I would book the pay-per-view. I think I only did it for the Royal Rumble, and that's it. But now I talk about the show, and overall, that's all I heard.